To all the people Trump deported, y'all should be proud. Because Trump just sat on Fox Live and said the quiet part out loud. Huh? To all the people Trump deported, y'all should be proud because Trump just sat on Fox Live and said the quiet part out loud. Trump just said, I kicked all of them out too fast. We thought once we kicked them out, all the people in urban communities, aka black people, was going to get back in these fields. Trump, what the hell you thought this was? Selma? Hell no, we ain't doing that. Nigga, we'll sell t-shirts on our truck before we do that. I hope that wasn't part of the game plan originally. Trump said, listen, we got to get some of the people that we kicked out of the country back. We got to get them back legally. We'll give them their papers and all. We ain't got no damn farmers. You didn't think about this before you kicked them out? Huh? Listen, the last people who was doing that, their last name was Tubman and shit like that. We ain't into that no more. We got black businesses. We'll figure it out here. Okay, we'll buy a couple stamps. We ain't doing that. Listen, to all the African people, Haitian, Spanish, whoever got kicked out of the country, even people who was doing good in their country in England and British people, listen, he needs y'all back. He ain't think about it. This is your time to get your paperwork together and come back legally so that way nobody can mess with y'all for generations to come, okay? Trump said, listen, I thought about it. I kicked y'all out, but our economy wasn't ready for that. The economy said, oh, wait a minute, nigga. Oh, this ain't that type of party, okay? So now he's working on getting them back. Now, Trump did say some wild stuff about, he asked some farmers what happened if they back break. I'm not even repeating that whole joke because it's kind of crazy. But Trump, I don't think nobody proofread what he got to say. I don't think he read none of the stuff that they tell him to say. I think he just say whatever come to mind. Listen, Trump said he got to get the illegals back so they can be legal, okay? I'm just here to bring y'all the news. I'm just the messenger.
Folks, buckle up because this is one of the glorious powerful moments that deserve popcorns. Now, Donald Trump is calling the deported and documented immigrants back to the United States. First of all, he sat on Fox News and said the quiet part out loud that he did mass deportation way too fast such that black people can get back to the fields. That means that he did the mass deportation so that black people can get to work in white farmers' farms. Unfortunately, black people declined it because black people can no longer work for low-wage jobs. You know, of late, black people are learned people. They are doctors, they are engineers, they are managers. So they can no longer work in white. They can no longer work in farms. Yeah, so he's calling back the deported illegal immigrants, and he said that he's gonna register them legally. So it's very lucky for the deported illegal immigrants because after being registered, such thing can never happen. In future, they can never be deported because they'll be in the United States legally. Yeah, so make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button as well for more great content like this. Let's get to the rest of the video.
So Donald Trump, not in these exact words, but basically admitted this week that a lot of the things that he's been doing, a lot of the policies, a lot of the executive orders that he's been signing off on was all made with the intention of getting black people back into the field. It was made with the intention of getting black people back into the field. All right, so on Tuesday, Donald Trump made an appearance, right, on CNBC's Squawk Box. And on that platform, he actually made a lot of commentary in regards to the situation with the deportations, migrant workers, the state of America's agriculture, and he made comments on inner city people not doing farm work. I want you to always remember that when they mention inner city, that means black. In Donald Trump's exact words, people that live in the inner city are not doing that work. They've tried. We've tried. Everybody tried. They don't do it. These people do it naturally. They don't get a bad back because if they get a bad back, they die. He also went on to say that they are very, very, very special people and they cannot be easily replaced. Remember what I said, anytime that they mention the words inner city people, inner city communities, inner city neighborhoods, that's black. That's code for black. Black, blackity black, okay? Black people. And it is because of that exact commentary that it reconfirms for me, okay? Not confirms, but reconfirms, meaning that I already knew. But it reconfirms that the plan from the very beginning with these executive orders, right, was to further destabilize Black communities, further destabilize poor communities, but Black mainly, so that you could put pressure on these communities so that you could get them to go back into the field, right? And then once you get them back in the field, bingo, you've made America great again. Modernize slavery. But Black people said, fuck you and this little game that you want to play. Since we are the most valuable player on the scoreboard, we will remove ourselves and let's see if this game is still going to continue. And that's in fact what we're seeing right now. Donald Trump thought that by forcing all of these other people out, taking away our Medicaid, doing all of these things to further destabilize our community, that we would conform, that we would just do what he wants us to do, what the whites of this world, what white supremacy wants us to do. But Black people decided to pull a Uno reverse and they did nothing, which is something that they're not used to Black people doing. They're used to Black people having this spirit of rebellion, having this spirit of revolution. But instead, Black people decided that, you know what, I'm going to preserve my energy for me and my people, but I'm also going to remove myself from this game entirely. And now everything is starting to crumble. The way that the America agriculture is taking a huge hit right now because of Donald Trump and his deportations. Like, I don't think that you understand how much America survives off of the labor of undocumented workers. And when I say y'all, I mean all the other races. Black people knew, because Black people were telling you. They told you, don't do this. Don't do this, because we're not going back in the field. Don't do this, but y'all didn't listen. And just to put into retrospect of how important undocumented migrant workers are to the agriculture economy here in America, the U.S. Department of Agriculture reports that roughly 42% of crop workers are undocumented, with nearly 70% being foreign-born. This labor is essential in states like California and Texas, where up to 80% of farm workers lack legal status. Donald Trump signed off on a lot of these executive orders back in January. It is now August, and in between that time, he has done a parade of chaotic shit, trying to put pressure on the Black community, but the Black community has refused to fold. They have not folded. And it's not just the Black community, but the legal Hispanic community here, the legal Latinos here, the Browns, and every other race that sees what this administration has been trying to do from the very beginning. They have not folded. And because of that, everything that he has signed off on in January is starting to bite him in the ass in August. And to all of you people out there that had so much to say in regards to the Black community and the 92% and them actually deciding to stand down and not participate, to not get involved, to protect their peace, all of the critiques that you had on their decision, let this be your example. Let this be your primary example as to why you should stay the fuck out of Black people business. Stay the fuck out of Black people business. You had so much to say in regards to our decision and wanting to stand the fuck back and deciding to remove ourselves from this entire game altogether, right? Now, you see that Black people actually knew what the fuck they were doing. They knew what the fuck they were doing. They told you were going to need these people because they weren't doing it anymore. They told you they wasn't going to do it anymore. You still got rid of them people. You still got rid of the migrants. You still did and went through with the mass deportations, and now you guys want food. But you thought that the Black people was going to get into the field. No, they wasn't going to do it. They wasn't going to do it. They wasn't going to do it. And now you see why they decided from the very beginning, oh, I see how this is going to play out. Exit stage left. So my good sis J-Doll says she wants to see the clip. She said, let me see the clip. Ask and you shall receive.
Back to their country with a pass back in legally, and we're doing things that are very difficult to do and very complex, but it works really well. We're sending them back, and then they're schooling, they're learning, they're coming in legally. We have a lot of that going on, but we're taking care of our farmers. We can't let our farmers not have anybody, these people, you can't replace them very easily. People that live in the inner city are not doing that work. They're just not doing that work. And they've tried, we've tried, everybody tried. They don't do it. These people do it naturally. Naturally. I said, what happens if they get it to a farmer the other day? What happens if they get a bad back? He said, they don't get a bad back, sir, because if they get a bad back, they die. I said, that's interesting, isn't it? You know, these are very, you know, in many ways, they're very, very special people. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so now that you have actually heard the clip, that you've heard the recording for yourself, let's actually break down exactly what Donald Trump has said so far. He started off that clip or that recording stating, oh, how, you know, they have policies and plan of trying to help the farmers, right? Because they desperately need these migrant workers. They need these undocumented migrant workers. They can't leave them without anybody. That right there is admission that the United States agriculture economy is taking a hit behind his policies and his mass deportations. That's the first thing. Donald Trump stresses the fact that the American farmers cannot be left without anybody. They cannot be left without anybody. And then he further goes on by saying that the undocumented migrant workers that he once was calling illegal criminals are very, very special people. They're very, very special people that cannot be easily replaced. Right after Donald Trump makes that statement and say that they cannot be replaced easily, he goes right into stating that people, inner city people, are not doing that work. Words have meanings, okay? When it comes to this government and this American society, when they say inner people, they're referring to black people. And when he said that kind of work, he's talking about field work. In addition to him stating that inner city people will not be doing that kind of work, he goes on by saying that I've tried, we've tried, everybody's tried. Do you know who everybody is? The American government, white supremacy. And do you want to know what their version of trying was? DEI eliminations. DEI eliminations. And not just that, but the undoing of so many policies and acts that actually allowed for black people to have equal footing amongst white people in certain areas, in certain spaces. The elimination of DEI programs and incentives were intended to push black people out of the spaces that white people deemed should only be for them. And I'm talking about admin jobs. I'm talking about jobs in medicine, in accounting. They wanted black people to go back to back-breaking work, okay? Being in the fields, hospitality work. That's what they wanted. As of right now, 300,000 women have been displaced from employment, okay? They have lost their jobs. And they thought, and when I say they, this white supremacy American government thought that those 300,000 black women were going to go back into the field. Instead, they got creative. They got creative. And so with all of these mass deportations, they thought that they were going to be able to fill the roles with their original laborers, okay? Their labor workers, black people. Now, see, if there's only two things that you take from this video, the first thing that I want you to take away is the fact that America's success is directly dependent on its labor, free labor, an amount of free labor that they're able to exploit from the citizens, okay? And the second thing is that black Americans will always be their first target. That will always be their first target. When they think about getting free labor, exploited free labor, they will always think of black Americans. Do you understand the level of hatred, jealousy, animosity that you have to have, that this American Constitution has to have to literally pick at one group of people forever, to the point where they are willing to wipe out all other races to try to get this one race of people to bow down? And they refuse. They refuse. You guys, America, had labor that you were already exploiting, but you were willing to get rid of them in mass deportations, all because you wanted to push black people out of those offices. You wanted to push them out of those doctor coats and those labs. You wanted to push them out of those research trials. You wanted them to be in the field. So you got rid of the migrant workers that were here that you were already exploiting, because if that's one thing that America knows how to do, is exploit some fucking labor. You already had it, but you got rid of them, hoping that you can force black people back into those positions. And now because black people said, let it all fucking burn. Let it all fucking burn. Before you come and get me, let it all burn. Now that black people have actually said that and stood on that, you guys are realizing how fucked you really are. White supremacy, white American supremacy is realizing how fucked they really are. Because how many black people do you know was opening up their mouth to say that, yeah, these immigrants, these migrant workers are taking our jobs? Not one black person. Not one black person said that. And by the way, that's what they meant when they were saying black jobs. Hospitality, cleaning people's homes, taking care of people's kids, picking berries. That's what they wanted as black jobs. They don't want us to be engineers. They don't want us to be doctors. They don't want us to be comedians. They don't want us to be anything. They don't want us to do nothing but work for them. And now because of America's racism and all you MAGA supporters that went and voted in hopes of making America great again, which really means white people in the office, black people in the fields. All right? You guys are actually really realizing how much you fucked yourselves over. You really fucked yourselves over. Racism is expensive. It's really fucking expensive. They say that with each great empire comes a great fall. And it looks like America's on its way.
Hey guys, it's Leash. Listen, your president, not mine, has decided that he is going to reverse this whole deportation situation and is suggesting that people come back to America to work these farms and everything. Not saying sorry, not acknowledging that what he did was probably one of the most horrific things you could do to people and families, children, tearing families apart or anything. No, he is basically saying that, the farmers here need help. And so they're going to educate them, get them legally sent back to this country to do the work that he thought the folks in the inner city would have been able to do. Clearly, if you read between those lines, he thought that black people were going to get out in these fields and do the work that the folks that he deported would have done. And to that I say, sir, you are so detached from the people that it is pathetic at this point. How in the hell did you think that black people were going to get in the fields and do that work? Like, is anyone consulting with you? I'm being so serious, y'all, because it's like, sir, most black people are established in some way, which speaks to the lack of understanding and knowledge and whatever else you want to say as it relates to black people and understanding the progression of black people in this country. Not everybody's waiting for some handout and, oh yeah, I'll go work those fields. You're smoking something, sir. And it's not good. It's not good. So yeah, that's your president. He's a hot mess. And yeah.
Hey, look, I told y'all. When Alligator Alcatraz came up, everybody was like, it's so good, it's so good. Now our president, y'all president, he done went on Fox News and basically said that he regretted sending them immigrants back. I keep telling y'all, God don't play. God not gonna keep playing with this world. What did I say in my last video? We are all people. But it seems like in this country, you are only recognized when they need you for something. Now all them farmers are struggling. I don't know if Trump thought he was gonna deport the immigrants. The people who been here for 20 years, paying taxes, building businesses, basically running the whole economy. And y'all not gonna like it. But that's what's been happening. Follow me for a second. Trump thought he was gonna deport all the illegal immigrants and put us back in the fields. Boy, that time is over. I'm not saying immigrants are slaves or anything like that, so please follow my message. You cannot treat people any kind of way. What do you think when you bring them back they're gonna do? You don't get to traumatize people, put kids in the system, leave them parentless. I mean, there's literally people that got deported And I say people, I'm gonna stop saying immigrants. Cause at this point, everybody in the US is an immigrant. Cause we don't get treated with our rights no matter what. You strip them from their families. You send them back home. That wasn't even their home. Some of them been here for 35 years. All they know is the US. Back to that foreign country cause it's foreign to them. No hope, no money, nothing. And because your farmers, because the farmers in the United States and the workforce is crumbling, you want to bring them back. They left as people and you want them back as slaves? You could have took the same precaution without the flights, without alligator Alcatraz, and say, look, if you've been working here for a certain amount of time, paying taxes, doing whatever you need to do, let's work to get you your citizenship. But that's not the case. Donald Trump is pretty much crying on Fox News. Please bring them back. We gotta bring them back. Our farmers are struggling. Our economy is struggling. Now, if you came here committing crimes, murdering and killing people, then yes, you're 100% right. You need to go back. But these are real people. I keep telling you, God don't play about his people. God don't play about his people. You can call it what you want. You don't get to play with God people and think that it won't be floods, that it won't be wildfires, that cities ain't gonna keep burning down. But you know what's crazy about this situation? I won't be surprised if they never come back and they just send you back. Black people, I know you hearing this. Brown people, I know you hearing this. Shit, yellow people, I know you hearing this. This is the reality. You can work your ass off. You can break your back for this country. Go to the military. Do everything right. And they will send you back. And I know he ain't gonna address all the kids that's in the system. All the kids that's in foster care. All the kids that been abandoned by their families leaving. We need to address that. How are you gonna find their families when they come back? Because that's the only reason why they wanna come back. You think they give a damn about working? They're coming back to nothing. You took everything. Man, look, shame on anybody who supported alligator Alcatraz, who supported deporting these people. Yes, I said people, because what y'all don't realize is the same ones that's rocking with it, all it takes is us. And your race and your face will be on the opposing side. That's what we seen. Man, I pray if any of those people come back, that they able to find their families. Because God knows that's the only reason why they'll show back up here. Because if you ain't never learned something, they stick together. And if nobody told you, remember Chemo told you, I'm just voicing my opinion. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm entitled to my opinion now.
I know goddamn well Trump didn't think that we was finna get back in the motherfucking fields. So Trump gonna get his ass on goddamn TV talking about he prematurely deported the illegals that was working in the farms. Thinking that us, niggas, was gonna get back out there. Bitch, we already did that, and you see where it got us, huh? We the freshest motherfucking goddamn race walking. You think we finna fuck up our new Louis Vuittons that we goddamn skipped out on our light bill for? No. Get somebody else to do it. What's wrong? They running short on that motherfucking lettuce that they put on the motherfucking big bats that you eat every goddamn day? Talking about the motherfucking inner city people don't want to take the farmer jobs. Nigga, what the fuck you thought was gonna happen? You didn't think about this shit before you did it? Well, newsflash, Mr. Motherfucking Trump, we don't even want to go to the goddamn jobs that we got to clock in for. They got AC units. We already complaining before we clock in. So by the show of hands, which one of you niggas would go out there and sign up to go work out in them hot-ass motherfucking fields? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Donald Trump, don't backpedal now. Now you're saying or acting like you're regretting or that it was a mistake that you did this mass deportation, although you set it in place and this was planned and thought out way before your presidency when y'all were concocting up this Project 2025. You had plenty of time to think about the consequences this was going to have, and you still proceeded with it. So now you're just realizing that all immigrants aren't criminals. Now you want to realize that they are actually hardworking people that have been working on these farms for over 20 years and just want to make an honest living for their family. Now you want to realize that now you have shipped all these hardworking immigrants off to their native land, that us Americans are not going to want to work in these fields for the prices that they are paying these immigrants. Now you're seeing that the farmers are suffering because of your dumb ass decisions. And it's sad because your blatant racism wouldn't allow you to actually delve into how agriculture works and how important the immigrants are when it comes to farming. And now you want to sit on a podium saying something needs to be done and that we have to use our common sense. Don't get French with us. Now we ain't got to do nothing because I did not vote for you. I did not do this. So you need to fix this since they, the MAGA people, voted for you.
Now, did somebody say that our President Trump was on Fox today crying about he made a mistake sending all them immigrants away? Did he say he made a mistake deporting all them immigrants? Yeah. Did he say the farmers were gonna be suffering and who was gonna tend the fields out there? Did he actually think who he thought was gonna do it? The African American people? Oh, we won't do that no more. We won't do that no more. I got people that own businesses. I got people that sell t-shirts, sell purses, sell everything. I got people that own stores. You know, we don't do that anymore. I even heard that he said what would happen to the, I think he was talking about the immigrants like working and they back, because it's back-breaking work. So he was like, what would they do if their back was broke? What would they do? They said they'd die because if their back ain't working, they ain't no good. You know, we don't do that anymore. We don't tend the fields and stuff. And I tell you something else you figured out. You figured out when you start raising the price on these vegetables and all that stuff, because we know how to, you know, raise crops and stuff. A lot of us started growing our own vegetables. Here, one of my coworkers bought me some squash and okra the other day. You know what I'm saying? So you can't stop us. But I tell you one thing, I want to know what black person, African American person finna get out in the field and pick cotton, pick peas, pull apples and all that stuff. You damn right, you better get them immigrants back if you know what's good for you. And go ahead and give them their rights to make them legal. If I was them immigrants, I wouldn't come back to your ass, give me my legalized paperwork. Right when I get on that bus or that ship or whatever you got for them, give me my paperwork ASAP. And you need to hurry up and get them back because I'm mad anyway. We need some work done at the house. And they damn good workers. They damn good workers. They do some good stuff around your house and they don't charge you that much. They do a damn good job. Stuff that people like, you know, my people, we don't do that no more. We just don't do that no more. We just don't do that no more. You think them folks stand in line with Jordans on, stand in line to buy a pair of $300 shoes to put on to go work in a field? Do you really? Do you think them people go buy $3,000 purses, Louis Vuitton bags, Gucci and all that stuff to go work in the field? No, we don't do that no more. Bottom line is get them immigrants back that you deported. Make them legal, when they come back. And then get them more money for what they was doing before they left. Because you know damn well they deserve it. Because you have seen, you done effed around and found out that you done seen that your plan was going to fall to pieces. Because you thought African Americans was going to go back to what they was doing back in the day. This ain't back in the day. This ain't back in the day. I don't need no 40 acres and a mule because my mama picked cotton so I didn't have to. You understand me? And I'm damn proud of it. I don't need no 40 acres and a mule because I'm set up now that I can do what I need to do and I don't have to pick cotton, peas, and all that stuff. So how dare you think that them immigrants was going to go back and we was going to take their spot? That's what you thought, but it backfired in your face. Don't let them people come back over here so I can get some work done in my house. Thank you.
Trump basically tells Fox News that he regrets busting down on the immigrants and sending them back home because his farmers now need help. And all I can say is I knew he was going to regret this shit because there's no person really working harder than an immigrant due to the simple fact that they're on a mission. They're on a mission. They come to this country just to work. Immigrant is probably the hardest working person you know. Hands down. No ifs or buts about it. And it's just like they was not bothering you. I knew in the end time you were going to need these people to take care of life in America. If you really think about it, who are building these bridges that we drive on? Immigrants. Who are building these houses? Immigrants. Who are cutting the grass? Immigrants. So now that your farmers are in need, you want to double down and say, oh, we're going to bring back the immigrants and make sure they come legally. It's not easy to get rid of them. Well, you try to challenge the situation and it backfired on your ass. Don't bring them back now. You broke up happy homes because you hated immigrants. But now that you're in need and you thought the black people was going to enslave and help your farmers, which they're not. This is not back in the day. They barely want to fucking work. Don't bring the immigrants back now.
Yeah, so Karma is hating Donald Trump because he deported the undocumented illegal immigrants because he wanted black people to work in white farmers' farms. Unfortunately, black people declined it because these days black people are learned people. They are doctors, they are managers, they are engineers. You know, they can no longer work for low wages. Yeah, so farmers are going broke, and they were asking for bailout. And generally, economically, the United States is, struggling. And so Donald Trump is forced to call back the deported illegal immigrants back to the United States. And he just said that he's going to register them legally. And it's very lucky, it's very good for the undocumented illegal immigrants after coming back to the United States, because later on, if it happens that mass deportation is gonna happen again, they can no longer be deported because they'll be registered legally. Yeah, so this is, karma is hitting very hard. And I'd like to know, tell me down in the comment section, what are your thoughts and opinions about this? Yeah, so until the next episode, for now, goodbye.